Hannah and I are hosting a little crafting night tonight at our apartment, and I am so excited. I love nothing more than a good craft. I love nothing more than hanging out with my friends, and if I could put those two together, perfect night for Tati. So let's set the apartment up so everyone can come and craft together at our place. My dream date. The very first thing we need to do is extend our table. So right now it seats a maximum of 6, but it pulls out with a little leaf in the middle to seat 8. And we need all the seats we can get because one thing about me is when I have an event, I love to just invite anybody and everybody ever. And I'm okay with that, and Han's okay with that because I love having our home just full of people. But I got to a point where I was like, bitch, where are you even gonna sit everybody? So the table needs to get a little bit bigger than she is right now. Ta-da! I also want to go ahead and cover our table in butcher paper just so that people don't feel like they have to be like extra careful crafting on this table. It is a Pottery Barn table, so I don't want it to get like nasty and disgusting, but I also don't want people to feel like they can't craft the way they want to craft just because they're at our dinner table, you know? What the hell? I've done this a couple times for other little events that we have, and I feel like it's always such a hit seeing everyone like draw on the table and like just be like creative in that way. So I'm gonna rectify the short paper situation and then we're gonna keep going. Paper is secured to the table, and then I'm also gonna take my Posca marker and write craft night on the table just so people know that they can get creative and draw on it or like spill things. Like, it will be okay. The table is protected. Should I write it this way or that way? I feel like I should write it that way. Very cutesy and simple. I love it. We also have 2 extra chairs that I'm gonna bring in so that everyone can sit at the table together. So there we go. Now that our table's all set up, the hard part was picking all of the different crafts and things that I wanted to put out. So I'm gonna show you guys everything that I picked. We'll get it set up, and then all my friends will be here. The one thing that I wanted to remember too when picking all of my crafts, because you guys know that I'm a big crafter, I'm a big creative gal, is that I told people to bring their own crafts. I said they can either bring their own or do the stuff that I have. So I didn't want to put too much out because I'm kind of banking on the fact that people will be bringing their own things, but I still want to give them options in case like they want to pivot from the craft they have or if they just want to do something different, you know? First up, we have this entire bucket of stamps, and then I also have a couple stamp pads in there. Shameless plug, but I'm gonna put out a bunch of my own postcards from Coffee House Stationery because a couple of my friends do junk journal, and I feel like perfect addition for a junk journal. I've got my Posca markers, these acrylic markers, and then also my collection of Ohuhu markers. And then to go along with that, we have like literally 100 of these Bobby Good sheets that I printed out, and we just kind of like cycle through. For my junk journal and crafty gals out there, I'm putting out a ton of different like loose papers and a ton of my paper pads. And then I'm also gonna leave out my sticker binder because I love this thing so much. It's my prized possession, but I have way too many stickers than one gal will ever be able to use. And then last but not least, I'm gonna put out a ton of glue and a ton of scissors and just those like really basic things you need for crafts that maybe they would forget, that usually I forget every single time I go to a craft night. So we're gonna get this all set up, and then all of our friends will be here for our little craft night. But thank you guys so much for coming along, and let me know if you want to see the final setup of everything and then all the different crafts we get to do. Bye guys!